Silent Hill F's Tsuneki clan are an interesting bunch. Rearrange the letters of their surname and you get Kitsune, because apparently they don't care about hiding what they truly are. A clan of foxes. But did you know they also have some interesting real-life inspirations? This week, we're gonna dive into a few and look at how they came to be. First of all, although their name is Tsuneki, the characters used for their name can also be read another way, Tsuneyoshi. Interestingly, if you also rearrange these letters, you get Yoshitsune. If that name immediately doesn't ring a bell, don't worry, that's exactly what we're about to discuss. We know that Ebisugaoka was founded by defeated warriors from the Taira clan. As a very quick recap, the Taira fought against the Minamoto in the Genpei War, which took place from 1180 to 1185, ending in a pretty thorough Taira defeat. Both clans had been at each other's throats for decades over who would be the real power behind the imperial court, and in the end, the Minamoto came out on top. Now, if we think about Minamoto clan members during the Genpei War, we have Minamoto no Yoshitsune. His older brother, Yoritomo, went on to become the first shogun of the Kamakura shogunate that was established after the war. But what's important to note here is that Yoshitsune has some pretty interesting ties to, you guessed it, foxes. Now, one of Yoshitsune's aliases while alive was Genkuro. There's a shrine in Nara Prefecture by the name of Genkuro Inari Shrine, and the story of how it came to be ties into Yoshitsune. It's said that after the Genpei War, Yoshitsune had a falling out with his older brother, who would go on to become shogun. Yoshitsune fled, and several members of the Fujiwara clan were sent to hunt him down. While on the run, Yoshitsune's mistress, Shizuka Gozen, had with her a small hand drum that he had given her as a gift. This drum was supposedly made with fox hides, and while they were fleeing the royal court, one retainer in particular, Sato Tadanobu, made sure to protect her and the drum with his life. However, this wasn't the real Tadanobu. Instead, it was a fox. And this particular fox's parents just happened to be the ones skinned to make Shizuka's hand drum. It wanted them back. Yet, this fox was not malicious and put its life on the line to protect both Shizuka and Yoshitsune. All it wanted in return was the return of its parents. It wanted the drum. Upon learning of this, and recognizing all the fox had done to keep them safe, Yoshitsune granted the fox not only the drum, but also his own former alias. He called the fox Genkuro. Centuries passed, and Toyotomi Hidenaga, the brother of Hideyoshi, one of the 3 men said to have united Japan during the Sengoku period, was looking for a divine spirit to act as a guardian for his lands. He invited a monk by the name of Hoyo to his castle and informed him of what he was after. That very same night, Hoyo dreamt of a white fox in the guise of an old man who called himself Genkuro. Genkuro told the monk to build a shrine to the southeast of the castle and dedicate it to Dakiniten. Hey, remember her? And so, that was exactly what they did. And Hoyo himself carved a statue of Dakiniten that he prayed to on the daily. But then one day, Hidenaga wanted to see his guardian spirit's powers in action. He asked Hoyo to summon the spirit, and Genkuro himself showed up and hit him with a little razzle-dazzle display of his powers. Thusly satisfied, Hidenaga commanded a shrine be built specifically for Genkuro as well, and so one was built for him on the same grounds. And so, Genkuro became the beloved guardian spirit of the castle town, and his legend over the years grew. In time, stories of him came to be muddled with those of the actual Minamoto no Yoshitsune, the source of his name. And One particular legend claimed that Yoshitsune himself turned into a white fox after death, and became a divine spirit watching over Yamato province, where you can find Genkuro's shrine today. And, of course, they called him Oinari-sama. Interestingly, if we assume Ebisugaoka is located somewhere in Gifu Prefecture, like its real-life inspiration, then Nara Prefecture, the home of Genkuro's shrine, is to the west. In-game files tell us that the Fox clan came to Ebisugaoka from the west. So, this pleasantly matches. And if we assume the Tsuneki clan are somehow tied to the Minamoto, then it's somewhat poetic that they eventually found more of the Taira warriors who fled, and subjugated them again. We can even see paintings in the Dark Shrine that show the foxes fighting what appear to be Taira warriors. So it does all seem to fit. In the end, the Minamoto won again. Interesting. But what about Fox Mask himself? If you're familiar with Onmyodo in any way, then seeing him likely brought to mind images of one person in particular. Abe no Seimei, the famous onmyoji said to be descended from, you guessed it, foxes. In fact, when Fox Mask banishes Sakuko from the Dark Shrine, he chants, which is translated in English as, "Heed my command as law, and yield to me." The beginning of this sentence was a phrase commonly used to end or trigger onmyodo spells, while also using related hand gestures. And of course, we can't look past the fact that the Tsuneki clan's family crest is a kuzu leaf. Legends claim that Abe no Seimei's mother was actually Kuzunoha, a white fox. Her name means kuzu leaves. And it was from her supernatural fox powers that Abe no Seimei was able to become so powerful himself. This all sounds quite familiar, doesn't it? Now, Silent Hill F is, of course, a fictitious story that is able to take inspiration as it pleases, and doesn't have to stick strictly to known history or legends. This is how we can have Minamoto no Yoshitsune and the White Fox Genkuro lending some of their story to the Tsuneki clan in general, and Abe no Seimei and his white fox mother Kuzunoha also lending some of their story to Fox Mask in particular. But that still might not be all. There's one other clan that may have played at least some part in the Tsuneki clan story, and that is the Hata clan. There's much debate on where this clan actually comes from, but many sources claim they came to Japan from either Korea or China. Either way, they were rather instrumental in building the then capital that we now know of as Kyoto, and also the Fushimi Inari Shrine. In fact, some sources claim that it was actually the Hata clan who brought the kami Inari to Japan, either from China or Korea, and this is why you can also find numerous stories stating that many well-known kitsune, such as Tamamo no Mae, actually come from these regions in the west, before landing in Japan. Foxes arriving from the west. Why does that sound familiar again? Not only that, but the Hata clan were involved in numerous flood control works in ancient Kyoto. In Onmyodo, earth is said to overcome water, and the Fox clan keep the water dragon sealed by submerging it in the water and building their shrine on top of it. We're also told in a few notes of dam construction that took place in Ebisugaoka, and Mr. Yoneda, a young man who helped an injured fox one time, was told to buy a mountain by said fox that would go on to be incredibly profitable for him once the country started dam construction there. Interesting. And just like the Hata clan, the Tsuneki are heavily involved in shrine and dam construction works, and also have deep ties to foxes that are not indigenous to the area. And so, through the Minamoto clan, Genkuro in particular, Abe no Seimei, and the Hata clan, we can see numerous influences that played at least some part in crafting the fascinating and deeply rich lore of the Tsuneki clan. But what did you guys think of this one? Are there any other mysteries or lore aspects of the game that you'd like me to explore? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you again next time.